Did you know that melodic techno is one of the most popular dance music genres of the 21st century? Merging elements of house music like melodies and driving patterns of techno, it created a new blend that artists such as Stephen Bosden and Tale of Us popularized. It's an interesting genre because it kind of sits at the intersection of house music, the groovy melodic stuff, techno, sort of driving grooves, and even trance with ambient, lush soundscape. In fact, you can make melodic techno without a computer. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you through my latest melodic techno jam and discuss 3 essential techniques that are important. Using melodic elements, using texture and background, and how to create minimal drums. But first, live performance. See you on the other side. All right, here we are. Let's make some melodic techno. Let me orient you to the instruments first. So Circuit Tracks is serving as kind of the main clock and the MIDI controller. So the MIDI and clock information is going from here to the instruments that you see around. What are these instruments? Here we have Moog Subsequent 25 that's taking care of bass duties. Oberheim Teo 5 is playing kind of the lead arpeggio that you will hear soon, and Korg Minilogue XD is playing a background pad. Finally, the West Best here is playing another background arpeggio, and I'm going to go through these and talk about their role and function in the overall production shortly. Drum duties, TR-8S. I'm using an 808 kit, which I think works really well for melodic house, and you'll see why in a second. We also have some sound processors. Specifically, all the drums are going through electro analog heat to achieve some saturation. The West Best arpeggio is going through Fable granular delay to kind of create an ambient soundscape that sits in the background. And the bass is going through a tape delay. Okay, so that's the instrumentation. What do we have here? Let's look at the drums and bass, because after all, those are the key elements of any dance music. I'm gonna turn this stuff off, just have the kick and a hi-hat. So first essential element of melodic house, of course, is melody. You have to have some form of a melody. In this particular track, this melody comes in the form of a bass phrase. Okay. Now what do we have here? We have pretty quiet 808 hat sitting in the background, just adding some lift and some motion. And of course, we have an 808 kick. Notice that the kick is pretty short. There's not a long tail. This is to leave room for all the atmospherics and the backgrounds that we need to have. Okay. Speaking about those atmospherics, let's look at our main arpeggio. Notice that this arpeggio is using the same notes that we have in the bass melodic phrase, okay? That's important. Everything's based out around the C minor 9th chord. This chord, okay? So both the notes in the arpeggios and the notes in the bass melodic line are kind of pulled from there, so they work well together. Okay, now let's listen to this arpeggio. This is another key melodic element in this track. So notice the up and down movement in the arpeggio. We're using both a square wave and a triangle wave to achieve this more transparent sound. And you'll see that I'm using the triangle waves again in this pad. And again, the reason is when we start layering all these sounds, we don't want to congest everything. So if you're using sounds with lots of harmonic content, like sawtooth wave-based sounds, they can really kind of cram everything up unless you're really careful. Key thing we have also here is reverb. So there's no reverb. Now reverb. This is without reverb and delay. Sounds pretty lame. Now we put some reverb in there. We give it some space, it softens it. And then with the delay, real fun things start to happen melodically when you increase the feedback. Notice how kind of new melodies start to emerge from this feedback. So this allows you to kind of play with space and some melodic development. Okay, so that's kind of our main arpeggio. We have another arpeggio that sits in the background. So second essential technique that you need to keep in mind in melodic house is spacey ambience. Okay, so let's listen to this other arpeggio. So if we remove the effect, so again, I'm drawing on the same notes from the C minor 9th chord, except what we're doing here is we're using this very plucky sound spread across 3 octaves. As a result, we can have a polymeter situation because this cycle doesn't line with the cycle based on 4 that the other synths are doing. And this creates some longevity and interest over time. When we start adding the granular delay, really the purpose of that is to go from this really plucky string-like arpeggio to more of a background pad. So if I increase the mix, we're mostly hearing the process signal. I also have it filtered, so they mostly don't hear the lows, and pretty high feedback and regeneration, so that it creates this ambience. Notice that also a reverb is applied at the mixer to stereoize this sound. So let's hear these two arpeggios together. This is more like a arpeggiated pad. So notice how two of them work nicely together. There's this push and pull motion that you hear because of different lengths of cycles. Right now they're too even. We want this to be more forward, and this to be more backward in the mix. Okay. So both of these can serve as these background elements, and when the time is right, we can really take one element out of the mix. Okay, and finally, another background element, pad. So this pad is really what drives the harmonic progression here. We're only using 2 chords, a C minor 9th chord and a G minor chord. This sound has triangle waves and use of this digital oscillator. And the idea again is to have a pretty transparent sound. The triangle waves don't have many harmonics. And use of the digital oscillators gives us a little bit of that kind of a crispy, high-end digital sound. So, one key issue when you're producing and making melodic techno is thinking about how these background elements are going to work together. So let's just listen to this pad together with the main background arpeggio and then with this arpeggiated pad. So really the goal here is texture rather than rhythm. But again, with the point that this arpeggio can start to drive things as soon as we open up the filter. Now with the kick drum we have some reference. Okay, now something is starting to happen. We need a little delay on the bass, reduce the feedback. Okay, let's look at other percussion that we have. We're gonna stop this stuff. Okay. So notice that for 2 and 4, I have a rim shot. This way we're not cutting the beat too strong. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we have more steady 4 on the floor vibe. And the claps are really used kind of as accents occasionally, rather being used at 2 and 4, rather than you can have something like this, but because this is more spacey, ambient version of melodic techno, I wanted these claps to play a different role. Okay. Another thing then that we have going on is kind of a B part, right? So in the B part, I programmed this low tom to kind of create a almost like an alternative bass line when we're not listening to the bass. And notice that it's also placed so it can work with the bass sound. So there's this call and response, so we can join both these elements at the end. And again, we can create build-ups by using this main arpeggio. Make sure we start at the right time. We can add some grit and bite here, some noise. Create a little build-up here. Okay, so you get the point, right? It's important to layer these melodic elements in the right way so that you have rich, lush background, but you avoid lots of mud in the lower mid-range. And essential techniques number 3, finer points of drums. If we get back to the drums, it's really important that the drums are kind of sparse and minimal, and that each drum element kind of has its own place in a mix. So let's listen to these drums again. So stereo separation is important here. You'll hear that kick is in the middle. The clap is a little bit to one side, while the rim shot is to the left with the reverb on the right. I put this closed hi-hat to the left and open hi-hat to the right. So they overlap a little, but they don't compete as much, and as a result, the high frequency content is not all crammed into one part of the stereo space. We have this kind of crash, which is a bit in the middle, and this low tom that's also kind of in the middle. But if you just listen to these elements, you'll notice that each of them have their own space in a stereo spectrum. This is important for a track like this because we have this dense 16th note arpeggio. You know, we could have had something like this as well. So we could have done this, and this could have been used in another part of the track to kind of add some lift and increase the energy. But okay, having the drums this way really allows space for the other stuff. So there you had it, 3 essential techniques for making melodic techno without a computer. We talked about melodic elements, really important, using a melodic bass line and a melodic arpeggio element. We talked about the importance of texture and atmosphere and how we can use different background arpeggios and pads to create those lush atmospheres. And we talked about drums and the importance of minimalism and allowing enough space for the music to breathe. Hope this was useful. Did you have your own adventures with producing melodic techno? If so, put them down in the comments. And don't forget to check this jam out. See you on the other side.